A student was making a pilgrimage, seeking without knowing where to look or what to look for. The teacher asked, "Where are you going?" The student answered, "Around, on pilgrimage." The teacher asked, "What is the purpose of pilgrimage?" The student responded, "I don't know." The teacher said, "Not knowing is most intimate." Our Jewish meditation teacher and Zen Buddhist priest, Norman Fisher, comments on this well-known Zen story. The teacher is asking the student not just about pilgrimage, but about spiritual practice, about life itself, for life is, after all, nothing but a pilgrimage. What's the purpose? Why are we born? Why do we die? The student answers, "I don't know." Honestly and humbly, Norman explains. Perhaps he is hoping that his teacher will shed some light on the question. But his teacher says, "I don't know is just right. I don't know is most intimate." The student is awakened by his teacher's response. He suddenly recognizes that he had what he needed all along, only he didn't know it. Just as Jacob declares as he starts off his own pilgrimage and awakens from his dream of angels going up and down the ladder, "Surely God is in this place, and I did not know it." Norman explains that in Zen, the word intimacy is a synonym for awakening or enlightenment. But intimacy, he says, is a much better word than these others. Zen enlightenment, realization, or awakening all imply some special state of mind, some transformative mystical experience that will bring us beyond life's day-to-day problems to a more spiritual plane. The word intimacy is better. It sounds like we are getting closer, deeper, more loving with our experience, rather than somehow beyond it. So how is it that not knowing is most intimate? An 18th century Hasidic teacher, Rabbi Pinchas Horowitz, offers a Jewish answer to this Zen question. He comments on Jacob's awakening from his dream of the ladder ascending from the ground to heaven. "Achen yesh Adonai b'makom hazeh ve'anochi lo yadati." Wow, says Jacob, God is in this place and I did not know it. This rare emphatic form of the pronoun I, Anochi, signifies to our Hasidic teacher that Jacob suddenly sees, oh, my preoccupation with me, Anochi, my agenda, my story, all my self-serving explanations keep me from experiencing God's presence, which is always there. When we know something and rest in that knowing, we limit our vision, Norman explains. We see only what our knowing will allow us to see. Not knowing, I'm ready to be surprised, ready to listen and understand, ready to respond as needed, ready to let others respond, ready to do nothing at all if that is what's called for. But when I know, I bring myself forward, imposing myself and my experience on this moment. When I don't know, I let experience come forward and reveal itself. Our Jewish story of revelation at Sinai is, appropriately, a totally bewildering narrative that resists ever being known. No matter how we try to wrestle the narrative into submission to a timeline, bewilderment remains an essential part of the Sinai experience. The Israelites see the thunder sounds. They back away in fear. Moses ascends to spend time alone with God in an intimate exchange over 40 days, which is never really described or made known to us in Torah, giving us the gift of not knowing what revelation was like for Moses. Not knowing what revelation is like, we're open to intimacy with whatever arises each time we read Torah, each time we come to Tikkun Lail Shavuot, each time we sit with the unfolding of being in this moment. I invite you to sit with not knowing. At Sinai, we stand amidst the thundering confusion, the fear, the longing, the sense of unworthiness to receive revelation. Just as we sit right now in this moment, in the midst of these same swirling forces. As always, guiding our attention to direct perception, sensation, feeling the sense doors open and relaxed, the eyes resting in the eye sockets, with the eyelids closed or the eyes softly resting a few feet ahead, ears receiving but not straining to hear sounds, the skin sensing the air around us, the body receiving sensations from layers of muscle, bones, and organs within, receiving each breath as it arises, allowing the natural rhythm of the breath to guide us from within, allowing the mind to loosen its grip on preoccupations, almost as if the mind is a hand slowly opening and letting go. Arranging the body to support the practice, feeling our feet or legs resting on the ground, firmly hugged to Mother Earth by gravity. Allowing the body to be held by the earth, the sitting bones resting on the chair or cushion, hands resting on the lap, wherever comfortable. The spine lifting the chest as it opens to each breath. The back of the head reaching upward, allowing the back of the neck to open. Sitting in the midst of bewilderment without needing to know. Questions arise. Am I doing this right? Should I be listening to a different recording? What were the instructions? Do these questions and all the unknowns swirling around us interfere with your practice? Or is this your practice, sitting with not knowing, moment after moment, with open awareness, returning again and again to our intention to bring open, non-grasping awareness to each sensation, thought, feeling, sound. Holding this intention lightly, not using it to beat ourselves when our attention wanders off, as it always does. Just opening to the intimacy of not knowing, again and again, for a few more minutes, or for however long you want to practice this intimacy of not knowing, this intimacy with each moment as a journey of revelation.